So let's see if it's working. Let's go over here and see what we can see. And for those of you finally back to work, Happy New Year. I just keep going all the way through. But next week I've got a procedure. So it'll be a challenge to get that all done. And it still hasn't come up, but I'm guessing we are streaming because we always seem to be streaming. But then this isn't the one. It says no broadcasts. Maybe I have no internet. That'd be something. No, here it is. Okay, and off we go. Right? Challenge to get. And I hear the music, or I hear the song. I hear the talking. So let's turn off the thingy here. Maybe and good morning. That'd be something. No. Nabeen. And good morning to me. I'm here too. And somebody complained on Twitch. I think that was funny. Somebody complained on Twitch that I wasn't responding to their comments because I don't really watch Twitch much. But I thought it was funny that I had followers over there. And so if you're on Twitch and watching this or in delay, please go over to Periscope, John Miglosh. It's pscp.tv and then / John Miglosh, and you'll get me. And then you can comment. And I will try to do better as far as watching comments. So I see you out there. Good morning, John. See, I see that. But once I get rolling, it's hard to go. So, on that note, let's go over here to see what Santa does on his off season. I like this one. I started in a bit. This is Santa. And he's changing out his beard. See that? He's trimming up his beard a little bit, which changes his look quite a bit. Maybe I should change my beard. And I love that it's playing Old Lang Syne, too. Shaving out the cheeks. See, I shave my cheeks too. It makes you look a little more refined. I like the gold razor too. It's a surprise for y'all. Look at this. Gets it nice. That's what I do. Do all that. Look at this. This is great. This is what Santa does in the off season. It's the Colonel. And I thought that one was great. There he goes. Merry Christmas from KFC. Talk about subtle. That was awesome. I love that thing. Okay, and now let's go over to Tom Fishburne because I always like to see what Tom's got to say. Tom says, here's today's. It's called Brand Purpose. Peak Brand Purpose. What does my job entail? Being purpose-driven, aligning with worthy causes, creating cultural conversations, bringing people together, making the world a better place. What about getting people to buy stuff? Sure, I guess that's part of marketing too. So anyway, and apparently there's an editorial from Russell Parson on peak brand purpose, and Russell thought the Gillette Best a Man Can Be and Cadbury's Unity Bar were peak brand purpose in 2019. Marketers have sought to become part of the solution to the world's ills, that it was no longer enough to have a product that performed a service or satisfied. You had to be worthy. Now, what I recommend is I served on the board of a theater company and explained to them that it's okay for an artist to labor unknown in their studio and then die and their works become discovered. But for a play, for a theater company, you got to have some people in the seats. It's not theater without an audience. And I also did some work for the Blood Center in Kansas City and the Heart Association. In the Heart Association, I changed their fundraising letter from a 4-pager that talked about the fund, about why you should feel guilty and give, to what the Heart Association actually did for people, and cut it down to about 2 pages, and it raised an extra, I think it doubled the fund. It had raised $100,000 the year before, and it raised $200,000. So if you want to feel good about marketing, go help a nonprofit pro bono, and that's a good thing. Because we're worried that being a marketer is an unwholesome business, and Russell up here, he highlighted Cadbury, which is funny because Cadbury came out in India, came out with 4 different kinds of chocolate: dark, blended, milk, and white. And apparently it was just mocked mercilessly that Cadbury had finally solved racism. But here's another good example from Tom. Uh, they're marketing corn chips, and they start with salty and crunchy, then satiety, then sharing, then family, then happiness. And Coke did a commercial about getting together as a family over the holidays, which is kind of this way. Then happiness, and then world peace, because of corn chips. Yeah, okay, that's right. Now, I was at a conference, and Amy Africa got up and talked about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And first of all, it's been debunked. Second of all, is data that the chimps didn't cooperate. They could be altruistic even if they had one last banana. And if you want to read truth, read Viktor Frankl, because he was actually in a concentration camp and witnessed that. He witnessed that altruism does not depend, world peace does not depend on having enough corn, chip, salty, and crunchies. You can do that without it. We can make a decision to do that. But Amy got up and talked about satisfying our evolutionary lizard and our evolutionary chimp. And, it occurred to me that there wasn't one person in the room that was actually marketing something that met hygiene needs in Maslow's hierarchy. So, be careful about this. I actually focus on making money. But here's a couple more. Guided by relentless, put a heartfelt adjective in there. Focus on quality, cliche, another cliche, and yet another cliche. And we will strive to long-winded phrase, delivering big aspirational word to our value group. Quality. Oh, we've already used that. Quality. Here's our brand purpose: make as much money as we can off you as we can. Millennials love brands that are purpose driven. That's good. And this one, which flavor would you like? This one is saving the environment. That one is taking a stand on social justice. And that one is promoting togetherness. How about spicy jalapeno? And, I don't know if you saw that, and this may have been a hoax, but Ben and Jerry supposedly came up with peach mint. With peach mint flavored ice cream, and my wife says that sounds awful. It's not about the flavor; it's about impeachment. But I don't know if that was true. Okay, so that's enough for Tom and everybody else. Okay, so let's get off of this one and get over to something real, right? So we go to PDFs. Okay, CCPA rules. I'm getting better at this, don't you think? CCPA rules aren't final yet. It isn't set in stone, even though the penalties for not following the rules are likely to be retroactive. And people think it's just nuts. It's nuts out there. It's nuts. The world is nuts. And California is nuts. And so we're going to get over here. And the Attorney General can enforce prior violations retroactively. It's not clear what B2B is about. That's another thing. Anybody who collects personal data. Luckily, we don't collect any personal data. And personal data, at least in this article, they gave you an idea. Phone numbers, physical descriptions of consumers, information such as race, ancestry, sex, gender identity, marital status, insurance policy numbers. It's interesting because one of our clients buys gender identity. I'm not sure what gender identity is. We buy male and female. we don't buy the spectrum of 75 different identities. I don't know. It doesn't really work that well to even have male and female. It's not that big a deal when you're selling like hardware or desktop items or something. But marital status, what we do is we use the long form census data, and we have an idea of the marital status in the neighborhood. So there are higher marital status zip codes and lower, higher presence of children and lower, etc. But it's not personal data. So looks like we're off the hook because we don't have any of this stuff. Hot dog. So that was good. And if you don't, maybe you can rest easy. I don't think so. That's the way it is. Okay. Now I wanted to get over because I did talk about, and I don't see any comments. I'm looking down there. So if you want me to continue to look for comments, you got to make some comments. Happy New Year. No, I see nobody thinking about it even down there. Okay, so let's go over to look at. Now we got to get to this one. Bing. See how this works? Man, it actually works. I mean, that is cosmic. We'll make it just a tiny bit bigger to cover that little white bar. Okay, so tomorrow at noon, and I saw that Market Builder registered already. Tomorrow at noon, we're going to be doing AI ROI in 90 days. And we are actually going to, I can take you over to the WDMA site, and this is what it looks like. And there's I'll show you where you have to click, but you got to make sure you register for one quantity of one. Oops, what happened to that? Oh, this is the WDMA website. You got to click over here. Okay, and when you click there, then you get to the registration. I highly encourage that because on there are 5 different places where we're going to be streaming, and you also have to do this. You have to make that into a 1. Can't leave it 0. And then you can put in your stuff, and there's some great stuff right there. That'll tell you a little bit about it, so that's good. But let's get over to so the talk is really about how come, and we've got a track record, why do 85% of AI projects fail? And how can you get around this? Because according to Gartner and all of the predictors of 2020, everybody wants to figure out who's going to buy next. Which customers are going to be our next best customers, right? What's going on with the customers? What's going on with our marketing? That is the question. And yet, AI is no more the solution than big data or big analytics or database marketing or digital marketing or any of the other things that have come down the pipe in the last 30 years. They will not fix it, I can tell you. And right now, there's actually as great a pushback from the companies that have tried AI. And so what we are doing is we're guaranteeing that we'll get you an ROI. We'll get you a perspective because we set it up right. So in 90 days, we will get you set up for the ROI. Now, it takes a little while for the results to come in, I have to say. Not that long. And we don't charge you for that time. We just pause the whole thing, and off we go. And so it's a heck of a risk-free trial of machine learning, and we'll throw around 300-400 variables, and you'll get an idea of how this can work. And then we'll actually have results. And in the results, you can see if it mattered or not. I mean, if you're really, really good at what you do, it might not matter. I'm not saying it will. And but you'll know. And so we'll all learn a lot. I guarantee that too. You'll learn a lot. So I encourage you, high noon Chicago time tomorrow, and register. Go over there on WDMA.org. Invite your friends. It's free. And we'll talk about AI, and we'll talk about why we've been able to make money with it literally for 25 years. And I never quite realized how unique our approach is. But I do now, and we've got some amazing, exciting results. So that's enough for today. I'm leaving the screen up so that it'll be my thumbnail. That's the only reason. Have a great day. I'm John Miglosh, WDMA, right there, down there, WDMA.org. Like and share. Your friends will think you're smart. Bye-bye.